Most of the wealthiest clients that we have, that I've met and that I run across, all of them have real estate that is rental real estate. Sometimes they have short-term rentals. Sometimes they have long-term rentals. And those are taxed very differently, by the way, from a standpoint of what I could do with things called depreciation. Like if I want to offset my W-2 income, I would go with short-term rentals because I can create ordinary loss. If I am just looking at saying, hey, I just want normal depreciation, I just don't want to pay tax on the rents as I receive them, fantastic, then you want to have long-term rentals. It works great either way, but they are a little different. But there's always rents. And again, it's up to 96% of the income. When you look at folks that are in the over $1 million mark, 96% coming from these. And then this is the big one, dividends. I don't know what happened over the last couple generations, but our grandparents would invest for dividends. They would invest in businesses expecting to get paid. They wouldn't invest in something and hope that it goes up. They didn't care if it went up. If I gave Uncle Ned a loan for his business, right, and he's paying me interest, I don't care about the business. If I gave Uncle Ned a contribution into his business and I said, hey, I want to be a part owner, I want to get paid. I'm not hoping that someday we sell the business and I get money. What I'm saying is, hey, give me what's part of that profit every year, Ned. Like Uncle Ned, we're making money on pizzas. Give me some of that. You know, maybe I'm a 50-50 owner. I want 50% of the profit. Give me that. Well, that's dividends. Dividends from publicly traded companies, U.S. companies, are taxed as long-term capital gains, which means they're at 0, 15, or 20%, depending on your tax bracket. They get preferential treatment. That's why rich people love dividends, because number one, that's a huge chunk of the revenue that comes in that's part of the S&P. It's about 40% of that growth of 10% a year. It's over 10% a year, almost 11% the S&P historically since its inception has returned, and about 40% of that is dividends. If you're not getting dividends on your investments, you're literally just leaving money on the table. And there's folks that invest in companies, they're called growth companies. They don't pay anything, they don't make profits that they pay out to shareholders. It's crazy. Like, why would you do that? Remember what I said about $1 today is worth more than $1 tomorrow? Why would you just hope that you get your dollar back and maybe it goes up in value? I want to get paid as we go along. You know who's really good at this? Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett bought Coca-Cola back in the 80s. He's getting hundreds of millions of dollars off of Coca-Cola and Apple and dividends every year. Like, it's a ridiculous amount of money. Berkshire Hathaway makes just a huge amount of money just on the interest of the money that it has, right? They're really good about getting multiple streams of income off their portfolio. Yet if you talk to people, they'll be like, oh, he's really good at picking stocks. Yeah, Munger and it's not just picking stocks. Is Buffett and Munger, what they're really good at is making money in multiple streams of income. So we have our rent, our royalties, our interest, our dividends. This last one's going to throw you for a curve. This is weird, but trust me on it. Short-term capital gains. Short-term capital gains. And you're going to say, why would you have short-term capital gains? It's taxed as ordinary. The reason people love this is when you become a stock market landlord. This is when you start renting your stocks out to other people. And folks go, oh, is that shorting? No. I'm talking about selling covered calls on a stock portfolio. I call it being a stock market landlord because I own a whole bunch of stock and I sell the right to somebody else. I rent it to them. I say, hey, if you think this is going to go up, you can buy it from me at X. So if I have a stock that's worth $100 and hey, it could go up to 110 and somebody's willing to give me $1, I'll pay you $1 a share to buy it for $110 for the next 3 months. Okay, it's worth $100 right now. So now I get $1. You're going to give me $1. I'm going to make 1% for the next 3 months. I'll take that. Absolutely. Because what's the worst thing that could happen? Okay, I have to sell on my stock at $110 and I got to keep the $1 anyway. So I actually made $111 and it's worth $100 right now. So I'll take that action all day long, and really smart people, that's what they do. In fact, Kevin Simpson, one of my favorite guys, I get him on my show and talk all the time. He runs a company, an ETF called Devo, and that's all they do is covered call strategies. They're really, really good at this. I know other folks that are really, really good at generating covered call income because it's not that difficult. Anybody can learn it. So here's the 5 types of income. 5, right? You could add those easy. I could very simply, even if I'm a W-2 wage earner and I'm like, I've never had another source of income, I could buy stocks and getting dividends, get up to, you have to have 100 shares and I could sell an option. I could get 2 types of income pretty easily. Then I maybe put my sights on, hey, what if I want to get some rental properties? That's where I would start. Maybe I go to Prosper and throw a few $1,000s in there and start generating some interest. And all of a sudden I have 4 or 5 types of income. But these are the 5 that I would concentrate on. And it's a lot of fun once you start getting into multiple streams of income. You just got to take my word on that. Hey, if you like this type of content, please share it with other people. And if you can like and subscribe, and then let me know below your favorite types of income. Of these 5, what are your favorite? Put it in the comments below just for fun. Thanks, guys.